A few weeks back, there was an interesting case of a new local hero popping up all over Twitter and grabbing attention, kind of for all the wrong reasons. So let's talk about that. First, we need to learn what a local hero actually is. They're basically promotional characters used to represent different localities in Japan. They're often modeled after imagery reminiscent of those areas or have names that in some way relate to them. For example, Fukuoka Caliber is named after the Fukuoka area of Japan. You can kind of think of them as goodwill ambassadors for these places. Oftentimes they'll put on live shows that draw decent crowds, and if they're really popular, they'll get themselves a TV show season or two. Or 8 in the case of Yatsurugi. You see local heroes pop up all the time, so when a group based out of Aso in Kyushu, located in Japan's Kumamoto region, launched a crowdfunding campaign on Campfire, a kind of Japanese Kickstarter, to gather up enough money to create a new hero, people were way more than willing to help out. Those people behind this new hero were able to gather up over 800,000 yen, or over $8,000 for the creation of the new hero. So you can imagine there was a lot of excitement and anticipation going into this. A hero who would inspire people to check out Aso and Kumamoto and unseat that other local mascot. After all that hard work, they were able to debut something that they were super proud of, something they were sure would put Kumamoto on the map. That something was a Kamen Rider 01 ripoff. Yeah. Soldia, the warrior of water and fire, was revealed to the public, and yeah, they were not happy. Twitter users were quick to call it out as a blatant copy of 01, which, sometimes local heroes do take inspiration from nationally broadcast heroes, but this isn't inspiration. They literally grabbed 01 armor, a helmet, and painted it over. Oh, also they used a toy version of the Kamen Rider Agito belt, because, why not? One person even pointed out that the undersuit used by the hero was like a cheap $5 suit they purchased online. A promotional video that showed off Soldia fighting a villain also led people to discover the villain used a pre-made $30 monster mask. People were understandably upset that something that garnered so much goodwill and money ended up producing something that can't really be called original or even really representative of Kumamoto. And here's the kicker. The guys behind the project actually admitted to it. Soldia was first revealed on Twitter on September 14th, 2021, only to have its account shut down by its organizers the very next day. When releasing a statement, they said they were naive enough to think that changing the colors was enough when confronted with the fact that there was no way you could describe this thing as anything other than a 01 ripoff. The fiasco garnered so much commotion and attention that it grew beyond Twitter. Soldia and its comparisons to 01 were picked up by news programs in Japan, all commenting about the various similarities in design and shape. Following this firestorm of bad press and early retirement of the hero, the people behind Soldia later commented that they would be in contact with Toei to report the incident, because, that's gonna accomplish something. Oh, and to top it all off, Kumamoto already has a fire and water themed hero. 2 of them actually. Blue Saber and Blaze Red both represent Kumamoto and have completely original designs going on. These 2 have been showing up at local hero shows across Kumamoto since at least 2014 and seem to be pretty popular on Twitter. One user even commented, Kumamoto already has water and fire themed heroes, we don't need Soldia. Oh, and as for all the money that people donated, well, there's nothing concrete just yet, but they've been told that they'll all be contacted at some point in the future via email. It's a strange case of people not even really seeing anything wrong in what they did. They knew people would see the similarities to 01 and just didn't seem to think there was anything wrong with that. Whether or not there's anything wrong with it, I think if you're going to go as far as to create a character you want to represent the place you're from, being original helps. As cool as 01 looks, he's still a product of numerous board meetings, focus groups, and market research. When you're making a local hero, you're as free as you want to create something you think is truly representative of the place you're from. But for now, he's just going to remain an interesting dark spot among the sea of other local heroes. And we are back. So that was Soldia, a new story I'm actually pretty surprised got picked up by the English side of the Tokusatsu fandom. While local heroes aren't unknown, I do think it's not something they talk about quite often, so it was cool to see people talking about it, even though it's for kind of like a weird reason like this. I guess, it being so much of a 01 ripoff kind of helped boost the notoriety of the story, and then the national news coverage stuff came as well. But if you are interested in checking out actual local hero like TV shows, Soldia was probably never going to get one. He was probably just going to remain one of those characters who shows up at an action show event held at a mall like every weekend or something. But I would recommend Dogangers. It's a really, really well put together local hero show. It aired its first season last year. Its main director did the Tokyo Returns movie, so she's got a lot of experience with Toei stuff. And it ended up really popular to the point where they were able to get like a semi-national broadcast for their whatchamacallit, their second season that aired this year. I don't know if there's going to be a third season, but it's a very funny show, and I think if you can find it, it's definitely worth watching. Other than that, there are some local hero shows you can track down online. A lot of them post their episodes up on YouTube, so yeah, it's a cool little world outside of the major studio-backed tokusatsu shows that you can check out. So yeah, y'all have a good day.